Welcome back, Stealth Army. I hope you guys are doing great today and just staying safe out there. And as I promised, today's the day we talk about the next major update, which is really exciting. And believe it or not, is right around the corner. Minecon is not that far away. It should be late September, early October, but that's the event where they announce the next major update, which as of right now, let's just call it 1.19. So if you didn't catch my previous video, which I want to say thank you for all the support, I will have a link in the description. We basically talk about Minecon 2021, and that's the next big event for Minecraft, and they're going to be talking about not only the next major update, but possible new projects, things they're working on in terms of Minecraft Dungeons and maybe a new game, or who knows, a TV show. For all we know, they could be working on something really crazy. But I think the biggest thing is, of course, the next major update and the mob vote or biome vote or whatever they decide to do. Hopefully it's something completely new. But today we're focusing on the big update, guys. 1.19. What will it be? Well, we're going to be talking about it, guys. So share your thoughts down below. What would you like it to be? I'm really curious. I really want to know what you guys would like to see after Caves and Cliffs Part 2. So as always, crush the like button if you enjoyed the video, if you enjoyed this format as well. Notification Squad, Stealth Army, you know the routine, you know the drill. Let's get into it. I think the best way to start off the list is to talk about the most obvious one, in my opinion. I don't like to waste your time. I certainly don't like to waste my time. So that is the end update. Now, that's not to say it's my favorite one. In fact, out of all the update ideas, I think this is my least favorite. Unfortunately, it just sounds a little boring. But I think another reason why I'm not that fascinated with the update for the end is because, 1.9 wasn't that long ago. I mean, it was a couple years ago. It introduced a lot of cool features, some of which I'm using right now. We got the shulker box. I love the shulker box. You love the shulker box. We all love the shulker box, right? The Elytra Wings or Elytra Wings, I'm sure you guys are going to bully me in the comment section, but I use these things, I use it all the time. In fact, I never take them off, right? They're sweaty, they're gross, but I love them. Elytra Wings are just incredible. Another thing from 1.9, the end update, the combat update, whatever you want to call it, but like I said, it wasn't that long ago, and I would certainly like to see a new dimension before they update that one, but Mojang has said that they would rather update all of the current dimensions first before introducing a new dimension, which is sad because I would love a new dimension. I'm sure we could literally talk about new dimension ideas for like an hour at least, right? There's so many crazy dimension ideas. A lot of them are on feedback, by the way, so definitely check out feedback. But unfortunately, that's probably not going to happen. And for a couple years at least, right? We're probably not going to see a new dimension for another 2, 3, 4 years. Who knows? But we might end up getting the end update, which, like I said, don't get me wrong. There's actually a lot of cool things they could introduce in the end. Similar to what we saw in the Nether update, right? They added, 3, 4 new biomes. We could probably see a bunch of new mobs. So I would imagine it would be very similar to what they did with 1.16, the Nether update, except for the end. So let's go ahead and talk about another update that I would actually love to see showcased or announced during Minecon 2021, which would be a structure update. That's right, an update focusing on new structures in pretty much every single current biome in Minecraft, or at least a lot of them. I know that's probably not realistic to add a new structure in every single biome, but I would like to see most biomes with new structures. I mean, they don't have to be that big. Similar to the well in the desert, they don't have to be something major like a temple or a castle, like something new to explore in most biomes. It could be even in the Nether. They can add more stuff in the Nether, of course. I mean, just because we had a 1.16 update doesn't mean you just stop updating the Nether. Of course, we got the end. They can add a new structure there. I would like to see like an abandoned barn. I think that'd just be really cool. Obviously, like an abandoned castle. And even like a windmill. Can you imagine finding an abandoned windmill on top of a mountain? That would just be super creepy and spooky. You know, that's the type of impression I want from these updates. That's just what I want to do when I'm exploring some of these really old biomes that don't really have too much content. I mean, we've had the mine shaft for such a long time, and we've had the Nether Fortress for such a long time. These are structures that really haven't been updated that much, that extensively the past 5, 6, 7 years. So I think it's just a great idea to focus on introducing new structures in these biomes that we've had for a long time. And I think that would just add a lot of content. It would just bring life to some of these really old biomes that desperately need it. Share your ideas down below. What type of new structures would you guys like to see in Minecraft in a future update? But let's go ahead and talk about the next major update idea, which would have to be a sky update. Yes, I know it's something I've talked about maybe 2 or 3 times a year, but I have to bring it up every time, we're getting closer to Minecon, because this is my favorite update idea. I know it's not a new idea. We've had the Aether mod and all of these other mods that focus on sky content, but let's be real, like, the sky is pretty empty. There's not much going on in the sky besides the phantoms, and we all know how much we love the phantoms, right? So I think it's time that Mojang, Minecraft, they focus on content in the sky. And there's a lot of cool ideas, right? There's a lot of crazy, unique ideas that they could do in terms of sky features and content, and even mobs, right? I think mobs alone, they could add like 20, 30 different mobs in the sky. And maybe there'll be the opportunity for Mojang to finally add the vultures. But we got falcons and eagles, and my personal favorite, the owl. And then we can get into the fantasy mobs, like maybe different types of dragons that you can tame, or Pegasus or Griffin. And I know there's going to be plenty of people probably watching this video, and they're going to be like, well, Stealth, that is too mod-like. That's not Minecrafty, and they're just not going to see this as a good idea, even though you could make the same argument about the last 2 or 3 updates, right? That's just the direction Minecraft is heading, and it's not a bad thing. A lot of people were roasting the Strider in 1.16, or roasting the Ravager in the Village and Pillage. Like, the list goes on and on. The Glow Squid, right? These are all features that people always roast and complain about until they get the opportunity to look a little bit deeper and realize that this is a really unique idea that does add a lot more depth to Minecraft. And that's exactly how I feel about all the content for the sky, because it's one of those areas that has never been explored like that, right? We got no content in the sky, so it just makes perfect sense in my opinion. We could add sky islands with villagers, or maybe a new type of dungeon or lair for a new type of boss. There could just be super rare islands that only generate above large bodies of water, so it's not going to be one of those things that creates a bunch of issues for you in like your house or just areas that you explore in the overworld. Like, they're not going to create this huge mass shadow that's just going to have layers of monsters circulating all over the world, right? Mostly going to be generating above bodies of water, or maybe they're so high up that, there isn't a shadow. So that's not something you would have to really worry about. But at the end of the day, I feel like the sky update is definitely going to incentivize people to go defeat the Ender Dragon finally and get the Elytra wings. But let me know what you guys think about the sky update. I know it's something I mention all the time, but I think a lot of people would be super excited, super hyped to finally get a lot of new content in the sky. And speaking of content, I think this next update idea is probably one of the best ones. And at this point, I think it would make a lot of people happy, because we've already had a glimpse as to what it would be like in Minecraft, which would be the previous losers for the mob and biome votes, which most of those features are announced, but they've been announced for several years now, like 2 or 3 years at this point. So like the desert and the savanna and the swamp and the badlands, and then we got the moo bloom, the isolager, and all of those other features that were showcased and confirmed to be coming eventually, but we have no idea as to when. Why not just add all of those features into one big update? And then you can add like the combat update in there, or whatever else you want to fix or address. Like, they could just add a bunch of other small things in that update on top of all of the announced features, which, like I said, there's quite a few of them. that are related to the biomes as well as the mobs, and they could throw in a bunch of new mobs as well. So I think that would just be a really fun and fantastic way to just catch up on a lot of announced features. And I think a lot of the community would love it as well because, you know, especially people that were a part of the last few Minecons that felt maybe a little disappointed or upset that their vote wasn't the victor, or they felt like maybe that some of these content creators or streamers or YouTubers that have a huge audience probably manipulated some of the votes in some shape or form. So yeah, I think it's just a great way to say, hey, we haven't forgotten about these features, these mobs, these biomes. We're gonna add it in one big update. And hey, we're also going to add archaeology and some of these other features that we've sort of hinted at or showcased a little bit, like the combat update. We're going to put it all into one update and call it 1.19. But share your thoughts down below. I'll definitely do a part 2 as we get closer to Minecon 2021. I'll also be streaming it as well, so no worries there. But as always, I appreciate the support. Notification Squad, y'all are the best. And I'll catch you all in the next video. So take care. Peace.